What's going on, y'all? It's your boy, Soul TCG, and we're out here with that fire, that heat, that sauce, boys. Once again, yo, I'm so excited, guys. I'm sorry for the delay here. I'm so sorry for the delay. I've been meaning to put out these videos to you guys. I was gonna do a regional. All right, I was 100% gonna do this regional, but my baby girl kept me up. She kept me up. I would have to wake up at 3:40 a.m., boys. So let me tell you, I was like, in a 5-hour drive. So I curved, unfortunately, but I was able to attend the Chronicles event and was able to secure the bag. All right, so Pure Canine is crazy, it's not dead, all right? So we're gonna go ahead and go over the Pure Canine build for you guys. What I'm gonna do is, I don't have one of the tech options. I did post it on Facebook. I will post it here on my YouTube channel for you guys as well, so you guys do know the tech options. Going forward, we still have a floodgate that is searchable, a searchable floodgate, all right? So that's pretty crazy. This is the correct way to play Pure Canine, all right? I've seen a lot of builds out there, and I promise you guys, like I've cracked Pure Canine wide open, all right? So, and if you think you got a better Pure Canine than me, I'd be happy to play you and show you you're wrong, all right? Because my Pure Canine build is crazy, all right? So, unless, well, technically other people play Chaotic Elements. I do not play Chaotic Elements. That's a sneak preview, but I'll go over why inside the deck profile. And I'll explain what I do, and obviously just clean 40 because that's what we like. We like to keep our ratios nice and there. So we're gonna go over it. I'll go over the reasons why. I'll go over what cards are not in there. There will also be a revised Pure Canine deck profile for you guys, covering the new floodgate because he's searchable and is a one-of inside our deck. Essentially, I'll go over what you take out for it. And then once I get it, I will do a revised deck profile for you guys as well. And then I'll go over a combo tutorial for you as well. So that is all on the way. And I have so much on the way, guys. We have so much to talk about, yo. We have so much to talk about right now. So like, I need to get out all this information to you guys. I seriously need to get this all out to you. So stay tuned to the end of the video. I'll go over everything that we will be everything that's coming out next week. Next week, I will be spamming you guys with videos, deck profiles, combo guides, the works. And we're gonna go over siding patterns because I've had a lot of people ask me about siding. A lot of people ask me, what do you think you should side? And it is all dependent on the deck you're playing. And people need to realize and understand the deck strength that they're playing and otherwise. So this will be a generic how to side tutorial. Guys, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm gonna save it for the end of the video. All right, so end of the video, I will go over what we're gonna be covering. All right, so that being said, before we jump in, did y'all get your steps in, boys? Yo, you know what we're about out here, boys. You know what we're about. If you're on this channel, you know what we're about. We're not just bettering ourselves mentally, boys. We're bettering ourselves physically, all right? So get out there, stay active, be active, prime, you know? We're staying out there, we're staying live. I don't know why I said prime, all right? Because we're staying prime. This is some gym in Massachusetts. Don't worry about that. But listen, yo, stay active, boys, all right? You don't have to hit the gym, all right? You should hit the gym, but you don't have to hit the gym, all right? Just get outside, boys. Just get outside, get that fresh air. We got that fall weather before it gets too chilly, all right? But there's no such thing as too chilly. I mean, I love the cold weather, bro. I'm a cold weather guy, and that's weird because I'm born and raised Florida, but I love cold weather. But listen, guys, get out there, go for a walk, get that fresh air, man. Go see a pumpkin patch. Go see a pumpkin patch, bro. Pumpkin patches are cool. You know how big pumpkins get? Pumpkins get, bro, there's pumpkins bigger than me, all right? That's crazy. That's crazy, all right? But anyways, boys, stay active, man. It's only gonna better you. It's gonna help you with your cardiovascular. I can't even speak right now, bro. It's late. Now, I wanted to get this video out to you guys as soon as possible, so pardon me, all right? I'm all over the board. But it's gonna help you with your cardiovascular health, guys. It's gonna help you with your circulation, all right? If you got injuries, all right, the best thing for injuries is getting new blood into those areas, getting that body circulating, all right? So when you get active and you're getting moving, the blood's pumping all throughout your body, it's gonna help you with injuries, guys. All right, you don't have to do anything intense. And that alone right there, just having that extra level of activity, getting your steps in throughout the day is just gonna better you overall, because you can even lose weight just being more active than what you usually are, all right? Now that doesn't mean go eat a pound of cheesecake after the fact because you just went for a walk, all right? That's not what we do, all right? You know what I'm saying? Just add the walk to whatever you've been doing, all right? We can talk about diet later on in life, all right? Maybe I'll give you guys some tips and tricks on that. But if you guys do need help, feel free to reach out. Guys, I'm down to help you guys when it comes to fitness. I love seeing people better themselves physically. I love that stuff. So, you know what? If you guys need help, hit in the comments, man. I'll answer any questions you guys got, all right? So, on the house, because I just want people to better themselves, all right? And if you're my soul, yo, my swole bros out here hitting the gym, getting swole, getting the yo, let's go, boys. Listen, once you finish your workout, boys, hit that treadmill, hit that Stairmaster, all right? The job ain't done, all right? Like Kobe said, job ain't finished, all right? So once you finish your workout, hit the treadmill, hit the Stairmaster, put on the video, guys. Guys, these videos are perfect for you. Deck profile videos, combo guide, tutorial videos, depending on the deck. But, you know, these are perfect 20, 30-minute videos. You're watching the videos, you're getting entertained, you're like processing ideas. You know, I get home, I'm gonna do this, this, and that. And the video is over. Your cardio is done. It is that easy. It is that easy, boys. I promise you, it's gonna change your life. It's gonna change your life. Can you imagine watching a 20, 30-minute video, just walking on a Stairmaster, walking on a treadmill, and that's gonna change your life? Can you believe that? Can you believe that? That's crazy, right? But it will happen, all right? So make sure you guys are staying out there, staying active, all right? Now let's go ahead and jump on into this pure K9 deck profile championship style. What's going on, guys? First, we're gonna go ahead and jump on into this deck profile. So we'll go over the engine, the non-engine, extra deck, and then side deck, as we always do. So first up, we will start with the engine, working our way with our 3 of. So we got 3 of K9 Noroi. All right, obviously this is probably one of our best starters and one of the funnest cards to start off with. So obviously we're maxing out on this. Not much to say here, guys. Next up, 3 K9 Azunas. Azuna obviously is still extremely powerful. It needs to be a 3 of. We're playing a pure build, so these are very mandatory. You guys need to have 3 of these cards. Then we are next up with the actual GOAT, the guy that makes this deck an actual problem. K9 Jokul. Alright, so 3 Jokul. Jokul just gets you into all the shenanigans. It's what bridges you into pretty much all the other decks that have level 5s. It's the card that helps you do all your locks. So this is just a mandatory 3 of. Next up is a little different than what some people see inside a pure build. I am on the 2 Lantern. Some people are on 2 Lantern, other people are on 3 Lantern. I can tell you this right now, and without 1000% doubt, you only need 2. 2 always comes up, and you only need 2. It's just like Ripper, all right? So you need to have 2, but you don't need 3. 3 is a dead card, all right? Because we don't really want to see it in our hand. We want to just get to it later. And then our 1 of for the monsters, K9 Lupus. You only need 1 of. Lupus is great, but just the 1 of. For the next monster inside our engine, we are running 2 Disablasters. Now, this is where it's going to change up a little bit, boys, and I'm going to tell you right now. So I already posted the card that's going to be replacing it, but you're going to put in 1 Newman here. So this is going to be a Newman, all right? So you're going to play 1 Disablaster and 1 Newman. A lot of people play 2 Disablasters, right? And 2 Disablasters are fine, but the Newman is guaranteeing you a lock and it's searchable, all right? So, and I'm going to show you how everything's searchable, even Disablaster searchable. Inside my build, I can search Disablaster and I can search Newman, and we'll show you that through there, right? So this will be Newman and then 1 Disablaster. You only need 1 because it's searchable, like I said, all right? And if you don't see it, whatever. If you do see it, cool. It's the same thing. So, but it's a crazy card. It forces your opponent to interact. I mean, once you go Jokul reveal Disablaster, is pretty much GG's right there, because I mean they're gonna have to start interacting, and there's been so many times people don't play to play around Disablaster, you know, and especially game 1s when you have Disablaster. I'm gonna just, because this is Newman, this is 100% Newman, but anyways, people don't play around Disablaster. So a lot of times they'll set a Purification and then put like their Marakumo right there, or maybe they set a Prayers there and they put their Marakumo there, or they set their Prayers in the Snatchy zone. So you immediately summon that out and then you block off that whole entire zone. So Disablaster is pretty crazy, but you only need one of, because you can search them, and a lot of builds don't realize that you can search them. I'll show you guys how. This is why you guys are at the channel. I got the sauce, I got the heat, I got the fire. So I'll show you guys how, but this is searchable through 7 Tachyon, all right? And I'll show you what we do in the extra deck to do that. But we just go ahead and have one of these because it's searchable. Same thing with Newman. This is also searchable. Once I get the Newman, I will go ahead and do a revised deck profile. If you don't have Newman and you don't want to run the Flood, having 2 Disablasters is absolutely fine. Disablaster is a phenomenal card. Being able to special summon in a zone there's no cards is pretty fire. Just in case you like the Impermanent Roy, you just go ahead and special this guy out and then go into your plays. So I mean, he's not bad for that, but 9 times out of 10 you want to summon this off a Jokul. So, well, 10 times out of 10 you want to summon them off a Jokul, pushing into a board, right? So, but if you're going first, I don't really care to see this guy at all. That's why having 1 Newman is actually pretty perfect for us. So this should definitely be 1 Newman going forward, and we'll do the revised deck profile for you guys later. Next up, for our 1 of spells. So this is all you're playing. You're not playing Trap, all right? Yes, you could play the Trap on top of these 2, right? But then now you have an extra brick, all right? These cards are not bricks. As much as we're playing pure, right? We're always going into a canine monster, right? We're always going into a canine XYZ. These are not bricks. Release Restraint, guys, is crazy. And I'm just gonna zoom in here for you guys. What does it say? It says target 1 canine XYZ monster or rank 5 XYZ monster. So if you're going in your plays and they're trying to negate one of your rank 5 XYZs, you can just go ahead and chain Release Restraint, target your XYZ, and then guess what? The target's gone. So if they try to imperm one of them, they try to imperm you to stop your plays, you can just go ahead and activate Release Restraint. So 9 times out of 10 when I'm going first, I'm adding this card before I add in the Force Release if they haven't interacted with me yet, because if they hit a late imperm nib, this helps you play around imperm nib, because you're most likely going to have 2 XYZs on board already. So you just Release Restraint into another copy of Ripper. So that they might imperm that, well, you have another copy of Ripper now. So, and then you obviously will you'll still be able to get the Force Release regardless of the fact. So Release Restraint is actually really cracked, and a lot of people don't realize that. Like, since this card can be used during draw phase, standby phase, main phase, battle phase, because it doesn't have a restriction in the main phase like Force Release, you go ahead and play around hand traps with this. You can play around Baylor, you can play around Imperm with this card. So this is a phenomenal card, and people are really sleeping on it and don't realize how powerful this is to utilize, because the fact that I can resolve my Ripper because I can just Release Restraint after activating his effect, like, that's crazy. Or if they try to imperm nib and I have another XYZ, like, I can just go ahead and overlay the other one into another Ripper. So like, there's a lot of plays that you can do with this that saves you. And that actually, this came up. I had a Nash and a Ripper on board, and they tried to imperm the Ripper. So I went ahead and just did Release Restraint and then target the Nash and go into another Ripper. So yeah, sure, you negated that Ripper, now this Ripper's live. And then they couldn't nib me, and then I just continued to extend. So this card is actually crazy, guys. This card is actually crazy. So you need to play this. Now, I'm not hating on the Trap. The Trap is a phenomenal card, guys. But like I said, we're trying to limit the amount of bricks that we're playing inside the deck. And the Trap is a brick, all right? If this card is in my hand and I'm going into a board, if I make one singular XYZ, which you typically can, because you can keep pushing through boards and you'll get to an XYZ. This will help me continue to extend and keep pushing through boards. This will help me to extend and keep pushing through boards. Having the Trap does nothing because I have to set it and then wait. All right, so if you're going second, that Trap is absolutely horrible. Now, if you're going first, the Trap is crazy, yeah? So the Trap is crazy if you're going first, but these cards are flexible going first and second, and this card is absolutely even better going first because it helps you protect you and insulate you from getting imperm nibbed or Valor nibbed, or just an effect that you need to resolve. Like when I was doing the artifact lock, and they try to imperm my princess, I'd use Release Restraint, target princess, and then just XYZ over it. So, and then the effect still resolves, right? So this card is absolutely cracked, guys, and people are sleeping on it. So I'm letting you guys know the sauce now. If you're not playing the 2 quick plays, you are behind. You need to play this card. All right, you can play all 3, absolutely, but you're also increasing your chances of bricking, all right? Because you need to build your deck whether you're going first or second, all right? You know, this deck should be able, your main deck should be able to play going first or second, all right? And if you're playing a card that's only good going first, then it's a brick, all right? So the trap is a brick. I hate to say it, it's a phenomenal card, but it is a brick. Next up, the pretty obvious, one of my favorite starters. I probably like starting with this card more than anything because it's just crazy, right? So like this guarantees you just get the, you know, you activate Case, probably most likely going for Noroi, or if you already have Noroi, then you're going for Azuna. And then if you get Drolled, you have the Azuna, right? But having Case on field, because then you can normal summon Noroi effect, special out, whatever, and then your Noroi effect to look at hand. And then you can just play around your opponent's hand. So having Case and starting with Case is just phenomenal. And the amount of times I had Case and Noroi in my hand was just crazy because you just go Case, search Azuna, and then normal summon the Noroi effect, bring out Jokul, and then from there, Noroi effect, look at opponent's hand. Okay, cool, this is what you're working with. Now I'm gonna break your fucking board, all right? You're not gonna beat me now. So Case is absolutely crazy. And then for the spice, guys, this is what I'm on, all right? 7th Tachyon. Guys, this is what should be in the deck, all right? We should not be playing chaotic elements, all right? Yeah, I get it, chaotic elements is cool. It searches Jokul and Lantern. Guess what? This searches Jokul, this searches Lantern, this searches Disablaster, this searches your Newman, all right? This searches literally everything. It can search Noroi too if you play the red hand, all right? So this can literally search everything. It can also search your spell canceller, same thing, if you're playing the red hand, because the red hand's a machine. So this is crazy. 7th Tachyon is crazy. And if you're not playing this card at 3, I don't know what you're doing. You're playing an XYZ deck, all right? You're gonna XYZ summon, all right? This searches literally everything in your deck, including non-engine, including, you know how crazy it was when I had Jokul in hand and I just went 7th Tachyon and then I grabbed out the Disablaster and then I just pushed through my opponent's board. This thing is freaking nuts, all right? Or if you're going first and you 7th Tachyon, then you just go ahead and grab your Newman out and then you just go Jokul summon Newman and then you just pretty much just sit on that. And guess what? You just won the game, especially if you're going up against Mitsu and Yummy, all right? So this is a crazy card, all right? And this should be played over chaotic elements, all right? If you're playing chaotic elements and you're not playing this card, I don't know what you're doing with your life because all you're searching is Jokul and Lantern, all right? But I can search Jokul, I can search Lantern, I can search Disablaster, I can search Newman, I can search Spell Canceller, I can search Noroi with this singular card. The fact this card can search me any of those targets is absolutely insane. The only restriction is locking me out of my extra deck with XYZs, right? So I can only XYZ summon. Cool. All I'm doing is XYZ summoning. I don't care. And if you're playing the Mitsu variant, this is even better because guess what? You're just going to Mitsu combo and you got XYZs. And guess what? D-barrier's gone, so I don't even care that I'm just playing XYZs now, you know, because it doesn't matter. I'm just going to go into XYZs and just cook you. So 7th Tachyon is absolutely crazy and you guys should be on it. I'll show you guys the targets when we get into the extra deck so you guys can see for yourself. All right, but this is what you should be playing over chaotic elements. Yes, you could still run like maybe do like a 2 and 2 of if you want to, if you really are that. But the amount of times that the Aqua and Pyro pop come up is very slim. That's like a top deck inside a grind game that you'll get the pop from chaotic elements. And then the only time the remove from play chaotic elements to snatch steal one of your opponent's monsters. And keep in mind, your snatch stealing has to be a light dark Pyro Aqua, so typically it's only good against a mirror match, right? It's only good against other K9 builds, which is not that effective. This right here is good against every build because you can search Disablaster and push through your boards. Or if you're going first, you're searching Newman and you're shutting your opponent out of the game, you know? And it can still search you Jokul and Lantern and Noroi, so it can still dig you into engine if that's what you need. So this card is phenomenal and it should be played at 3 inside a pure K9 build. I cannot stress this enough. It just blows my mind people don't do this and don't see this. So, and this is why I'm going to cook people at events, is because they're going to be playing chaotic elements and then I'm going to be one step ahead because I'm playing this and I'm going to lock you out of the game. So 7th Tachyon is just absolutely crazy, guys. Please hear my voice, all right? I'm not saying chaotic elements is bad. I am not, all right? Chaotic elements is not bad at all. It is a great card. It's a great card for this deck. It's great against the, it's phenomenal against the mirror match. I'd rather have chaotic elements than against the mirror match in some instances. But even still, I can push through a mirror match's board with this card. You know, being able to summon out Disablaster, locking you out, like that's crazy. That's crazy, all right? So play this at 3. this is the correct option. You should play this at 3. If you really wanted to play chaotic elements, you can, but I don't want that many search targets. This deck is gonna, it doesn't lose the draw, but you want less ways to get drawed, right? So it depends on your hand and how you're starting. But if you know that you have a Noroi and you have an Azuna, or even if you have only one of those cards, then I don't care if I get drawed. So I'm just gonna go ahead and send Tachyon, and like it's fine. But and the same thing, like if you have Case and you already have Noroi in hand, like you're cooking, you're still making 2 XYZs and passing. So this is a phenomenal card. Play this at 3. We don't want too many engine cards. We don't want too many searchers, all right? It makes no sense to run extra searchers. This one being so diverse in what you can search is absolutely huge, all right? It is absolutely huge. Your deck needs to be diverse, whether you're going first or second, all right? If your deck is only good going first, or and vice versa, is only good going second, it's a bad deck. It's a bad main deck. Your deck should be flexible going first and second. That's why you have a side deck. Your side deck helps you whether you're going first or second. So you lead into what you need the most for the deck. Now with a pure build, you should be focusing more on non-engine because we have plenty of 1-card starters, especially in K9. So we don't need 3 more starters. It makes no sense at all. And I promise you the ratios are correct here. That is it for the engine, all right? Next up for the non-engine. So obviously 3 Ash. This is pretty self-explanatory. I'll say it repeatedly over and over again. Ash is the best offensive and defensive card. You start your deck list, you're putting in Ash. I'm putting in Ash before I put in through a 3 draw. This should be mandatory right now. Mitsu was not answered, only floodgates were answered, right? So, and barely answered. So Droll is still absolutely phenomenal. Hanamana is still out there. You guys still got Ryzel still out there. You still got Mitsu running rampant out there. Droll is a phenomenal card. Shuts off the engine. You need this card. Plus, like I already said before in the previous video, we play Durendal, all right? So we can hand wipe our opponent if they fool us, which is crazy. Three Fualos, pretty self-explanatory. We love to draw cards. Fool guarantees we draw cards and guarantees the waste an Ash if you don't. 3 Nib, guys. I can't stress this enough, man. I can't stress this enough because I feel like this is another card we got to talk about, right? Every time it's not a Nib format, it's a Nib format. And every time it's a Nib format, it's a Nib format. This card's always a 3 of. I mean, maybe a 2 of sometimes, but overall, play Nib at 3. All right, it cooks literally most decks. It destroys every rogue deck. I mean, it's a Nib. It's literally Nib. But you're not playing 3 Nib unless you're playing 3 Imperm. All right, the best hand trap to pair with it. Imperm and literally Nib plus any other hand trap is just, I mean, GG's. All right, now I'm playing. So Imperm also right there, pretty self-explanatory. Imperm's phenomenal, but Imperm is only phenomenal with paired with another hand trap. All right, so keep that in mind. All right, so 3 Imperm and 3 Nib, guys. All right, so make sure you guys max out on this. These are all of our 3-ofs right there. All right, you're playing pure. All right, this deck right here, I mean, even if they draw you, you're still gonna end on 2 XYZs and 3 non-engine, 4 non-engine. So it's pretty crazy. And then next up, the next trinity for this deck: 1 Shifter, 1 Called By, 1 Talents. I don't think I need to explain this card. I think this card is pretty much the bane of literally everyone's existence, especially me being a Fiend Smith and Asmina player and a Snake Eyes player. I absolutely hate this card resolving on me, and that's why we play it, because, you know, if we hate this card resolving, everybody else does too. So, and this deck doesn't really give 2 shits about that. So we can go ahead and play Shifter, and I'm going to main Shifter because it destroys literally every day. I see Shifter, I win the game. So it's like, why not play a card that if you see it, you win the game? Called By, self-explanatory, you know, Drill Soul running rampant and in everybody's main deck. And it's good. You know, it's not that good going second. This is probably the one card that I could see taking out of to put in for something else, but it's still Called By. It still helps out against Fuas, and that was my main goal. Fuas, Drolls, you know, you have something to answer it, and then Talents is Talent, you know. I mean, I'd play this card at 3 if I could, you know. So, I mean, this card is just too broken. And that is it for the non-engine. All right, so now we're gonna go into the extra deck. I'll show you guys the 7 Tachyon targets and everything. First up, our only non-XYZ monster, SP. Pretty self-explanatory. We do wanna have an SP and now we honestly don't really need an SP. because D-Berry's gone, and like, I mean, but it's still SP, and SP does come up sometimes, so having SP is never wrong. And then for the K9 package, we're on 2 copies of Ripper. Like I've always said, if you're playing any K9 variant, you need 2 copies of Ripper. All right, you have 1 for the making the board, then you have 1 for the crackback. All right, always have 2 Ripper. 2 Ripper is standard. You don't need 3. You definitely should not be playing 1. You need to play 2. All right, I don't think this is not negotiable. All right, if you're playing any K9 variant, you need to play 2 Ripper. The people that play 1 are just like weird, and they're not gonna see that much success unless they're lucky. Next 2 K9 names: Hound, Jax. Hound is phenomenal, pushing through a Mitsu board, especially when you make it with a Lupus underneath. That's just insane, because not being able to target, not being able to get destroyed, you keep activating effects. Now you just have this giant beef stick that's just gonna run over the board. And then obviously Jax is just an absolutely crazy card. This card enables a lot of OTKs, especially when you rank up, when you use a quick play spell to rank him up into Werewolf, and then Werewolf's attacking 3 times for double damage. Like, Jax is just an absolutely crack card, so you definitely need to play 1 Jax. Next up, Durendal. Durendal is just absolutely crazy. We're playing Droll in the main deck. If we go first and they fool us in the draw phase, that's cool. I'm going to go ahead and make Ripper, and then after I make Ripper, I'm going to go ahead and make Durendal, and then I'm going to use Durendal's effect. And if I have Droll in hand, you know, if you have Droll in hand and they fool you, it's GG's, bro. I'm about to wipe your hand. So Durendal is just absolutely phenomenal. It has come up. I did wipe a Yummy Mizu players twice before with this card. This card is just phenomenal. Did not do it at this tournament. I didn't see that, but this card is just so funny when it comes up. So anything that's going to guarantee you a game like that, getting rid of all the cards in your opponent's hand, is just really impressive. Next up, we are on 2 copies of Nash Knight. Because we are playing 7th Tachyon, we need search targets for our 7th Tachyon in order for this to resolve. That being said, we have to drop the C104 package technically. Now, when I say the C104 package, I'm talking about the big Nash Knight and then the number 104. That's all we're dropping from this list. I'll go ahead and show you our Nash Knight targets here. It's going to be C101, C102, and C104. All right, so these are going to be your Nash Knight targets and also your 7th Tachyon targets. So C101 is going to be able to search you for Newman. All right, it also is also an Aqua. All right, so it grabs you one of your K9s as well. Then you have C102. C102 grabs you Disablaster, Light 5. All right, so this one will grab you your Disablaster, was the one that grabbed you your Artifact Lock as well. That was fun. This guy being able to grab Artifact and your Disablaster was just absolutely wild and free. But now that Mjolnir's gone, it doesn't really matter anymore. So if Malice ever becomes a thing, we can just use this to search our Lancia. But right now we're just using him to search our Disablaster. And then he's obviously our first target for Nash Knight to go ahead and equip. And then these guys get you into Engine. So C104 is a Dark 5, so it allows you to get Lantern and Jokel. So he helps you get Engine. He's your last one that you use for Nash Knight effect to attach. We want 2 Nash Knight. 2 Nash Knights does come up quite a bit. It comes up more than I feel like the C104 package did. And this being able to search out literally everything in your deck is just phenomenal. Obviously, I'm not playing the Red Hand. Red Hand does search you Noroi and Spell Canceller. I might think about putting it in, but for right now, I like this where it's at, and it's been solid. 2 copies of Werewolf. Yes, 2 copies. 1 for your opponent's turn, 1 to OTK. You need 2 copies of Werewolf. Even when we get the new K9 card, you're still going to be playing 2 copies of Werewolf because this is your OTK line. Typically, you're going to end on having your having the new K9 out. So the Werewolf, 2 copies of Werewolf is always going to come up, and I definitely would keep 2 copies of Werewolf in going forward. And then obviously we are playing XYZ, so we're playing these 2. If I was going to cut anything, I'd probably cut Tachyon, because he doesn't come up as much, but he is really good with Lupus when you're kind of running out of plays and you're in a grind game. So he does help out a bit. So, but for right now, there's no need to fix the extra deck at all. It's phenomenal. It's been perfect. So I would leave this the same. I'd probably cut SP before I cut Tachyon, but this has been perfect. SP actually has never come up in any of my matches. Every single tournament I've won, I haven't made an SP, so SP would most likely be the first one I cut. And then for the side deck, guys. All right, so if we're going second, we are on 3 copies of Evenly Matched and 3 copies of Ghostbill. This is it for going second. The reason being, my deck, as you saw, is half full of hand traps. I have literally half my deck is hand traps, right? So I'm just siding out whatever I don't need, right? So if I'm going up against Draco Tail, I don't need my Drolls in, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put in Bell, right? And I don't need Evenly Matched against Draco Tail. I mean, you can beat Draco Tail with your eyes closed with Pure Canine, so like you can just put in Bells for extra layer protection, and you could put in the Evenly Matched for Nib, because they don't typically play into Nib at all. It's very rare occasions that they play into Nib, so you could technically side out the Drolls and the Nibs to put in Evenly and go Spell against Draco Tail matchup. And any matchup that doesn't really necessarily lose to those cards, but most of the meta is going to lose to like an Emperor Nib. But these cards are phenomenal into the meta, and it gives you a lot of value. So these are high impact for going second. Next up, our going first package. So there can only be one. We have all different types with the K9 cards, so this is a great card for us. It shuts off Yummy pretty hard. Anti-spell is anti-spell. We don't really need to talk about it. And Solemn Judgment is Solemn Judgment, right? So these are just a little power couple 3-ofs right here. We have a crap ton of hand traps inside our deck. So our side deck needed to be geared to going first, so we can get rid of all those brick hand traps and have cards that are just going to guarantee us a game win, right? That being said, we are on 3 copies of Different Dimension Ground. Like I said in the last video, and obviously I got correct, Different Dimension Ground specifically calls out for a monster. All right, so it says any monster sent to the graveyard. I'm trying to get the zoom right there. There you go. Any monster sent to the graveyard is banished instead, right? So XYZs are considered material, all right? So not to get it twisted, Shifter banishes everything because it states card, right? With Different Dimension Ground stating monsters, well, everything underneath an XYZ is considered material. It's not considered a monster. So it still hits grave, meaning we can still use Lantern's effect. All of our stuff, our Lupus still hits in the grave. So this is a phenomenal card inside K9 variants, all right? If you're playing K9, this should be a 3-of inside your side deck, all right? This guarantees you games against Yummy, guarantees you games against Draco Tail, guarantees you games against Fiendsmith, it guarantees you games against Mitsu, guarantees you games against Branded, all right? This card is nuts, all right? And it's absolutely free inside our deck. So the fact that it guarantees you a game and doesn't hurt us, we play it. Which goes into our next one. This one's even better. D-Fissure, all right? This card is 20 times better than DDG. Why? Because we can play it right out the gate, right? Same thing, any monster sent to the graveyard, right? So if any monster sent to the graveyard, we can go first. First thing we do is activate Fissure, all right? Because guess what? That turns off so many hand traps. That literally turns off how many hand traps say you send this card to the graveyard, right? This turns off all those hand traps, right? That leaves a select few amount of hand traps that can actually respond to our card effects, all right? Not only that, but literally all of our stuff, all the materials is gonna go to the graveyard, so we can continue play like normal, like nothing ever happened. So Fissure is absolutely phenomenal, and obviously it's game winners against all the decks that I just mentioned. So play 3 Fissure. This guarantees you wins going first. And that is it for the deck profile, guys. Let me know your thoughts, and if you guys want to win mats, let me know. Peace. All right, y'all, so I hope you guys enjoyed that Pure K9 deck profile. Lots of stuff to process for you guys, a lot for you to go over and review. I have another revised Pure K9 deck profile on the way, and to go over what I was about to just stumble all over in the beginning of this video, what we are covering, boys, all right? We're gonna be covering all the Mitsu variants. I just posted this, all right? I literally just posted this, but I'm gonna say it again. All the Mitsu variants, all right? I am saucing up with Mitsu Primite. I'm saucing up with Mitsu Fiendsmith. I'm saucing up with Canine Mitsu. I'm saucing up with Pure Mitsu, all right? So we got all those on the way. And also I already put out a Azamina Mitsu deck list, all right? That has already been posted on my channel, but that is, I believe, a couple ban lists ago, technically. So we're gonna do a revised Canine, I'm sorry, not Canine, that also is gonna be coming on the way too, but we're gonna do a Mitsu Azamina deck list because we can play Impulse in that deck, bro. Impulse? That's a crazy card. And it's free. Everything's dark. Listen, boys, and we don't gotta worry about protos. That's crazy. But anyways, yo, listen, we are gonna go ahead and add that in, all right? So we got all those Mitsu variants coming in, all right? Then we have Canine variants. Guys, I'm in love with Canine. I'm gonna keep playing Canine until the wheels fall off, all right? Because Canine is just such a fun and powerful deck and people are sleeping on it. And me, I love the sleepers, dog. I love the sleepers because the sleepers are the ones that come out like, bah, 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 bah. You know what I'm saying? So listen, we're gonna cover that. So we got Canine, Mitsu, obviously, like I said, Pure Canine, lots to cover there. Obviously, not just with this deck profile. When I do the combo tutorial, I'll show over the other things as well. But I hope you guys paid attention to this video on it because I'm going over a lot. I went over a lot of the information. I'm saying I'm going over, but I went over all the information for you guys, all right? So stay tuned to that. The combo guide will come up for Pure Canine. And then we're also gonna go over Canine Primite, all right? This deck is just fun. It's just bananas, all right? It's just free bananas, all right? Because there's level 5 normal monsters that are Aqua Pyra that we can run Chaotic Elements and do extra shenanigans. So it's pretty funny. But we'll be going over that as well, guys. And then Canine Fiendsmith. So a lot of people love the Fiendsmith package naturally, me too. And people want to see the Canine Fiendsmith build. Naturally, I already showed you guys the Canine Azamina. I do think Canine Azamina is a lot stronger overall, but into this format, however, I feel like Canine Fiendsmith is just a little bit stronger right now, only because of the amount of breakers that we're going to be seeing and we'll see in the current future. So breakers are definitely going to start slowly coming in a little bit more into the meta, and we'll definitely see that. So Canine Fiendsmith might actually be a little bit better now because of Desiree, all right? So that is going to be coming on the way. I do need to do a profile for that for you guys, so stay tuned to that as well. And then we are also, like I was saying at the beginning of this video, guys, we are going to cover side decking, all right? Because there's a lot of confusion with people having to decide what should I side, how should I side out, and all of that. So I'm just going to do a basic, probably just a talk about siding video, just to go over how you should be siding, how you should be building your side depending on the deck that you're playing. And it's very simple, guys. It honestly is very simple to plan your side deck, all right? But some people kind of like, you know, when you love a card, you want to play the card, right? Even though that's not necessarily the best card to play, you want to play it anyways, right? So sometimes you got to make a little bit of sacrifices, cut back from, you know, the cards you really just want to play and the cards that you should play, right? So, but we'll stay tuned to that. That's on the way as well. But lots out there, guys, and I'll be doing combo tutorials for every single one of them, going over the tech options and just the fundamentals of all these decks. And it's going to be a blast of information. We have so much. This format is shaking up. Konami's really stepping their game up, and you know, I don't know. It's just funny to me because all these other YouTubers out here have been negative Nancy's this whole time, and Konami, like I've been saying, is knocking it out of the park. Yo, these stay bitching and they're like, oh wow, I didn't realize Konami, this is a good call, but man, get out of here, bro. We stay with that positivity, bro. Don't trash my game, dog. Yo, I don't know why these people are Yugi tubers and trashing my game, bro. Get out. Go home. Go home. Log off, my guy. All right, don't trash my game. This game's crazy right now, bro, and it keeps getting crazier. So stay tuned, boys. Lots on the way. I hope you guys are doing wonderful. I hope you guys stay blessed, and I appreciate all the love and support that you give. And remember, please, if you got friends, if you got family, if you got people at your locals that are creative or need some motivation, send them to the channel, boys. Let's keep growing this channel. We're almost to our goal, 500 subscribers for the first giveaway. And we're not doing no crazy like structure deck thing or like, you know, I don't know, a promo card, bro. I'm not giving away, I'm giving you guys some real value, all right? So like, whether I still have the extra playset and Noras. I thought I was gonna sell them, so maybe that will be the giveaway. So if you guys need a playset and Noras, help me get to 500 subscribers, bro, and we'll go ahead and drop that giveaway real quick, and then you guys got a playset and Noras right there. So free 99. All right, so stay tuned, send the link. Y'all stay blessed, and I'll catch you guys very, very soon.